Assalamualaikum and hi, welcome to our Fin 420 presentation. Today we are going to present you about analysis of corporate financial performance, a trend and cooperative study of Berjaya Corporation Berhad and IOI Corporation Berhad. Let me introduce you with our teammate. First we have Asma dari Nawati, then we have Nasaruddin Hakimi bin Abdul Razak. Next, we have Karinisa binti Muhammad Afendi. Then we have Putri Damira Barkis binti Izani. And last but not least, me, myself, Rabetul Adawiyah binti Muhammadiyah. Hi, I will explain to you what is trend analysis. So basically, trend analysis is a process of analyzing a company's financial record to determine market trend, project future trend, or project future trend based on historical performance data. Okay, liquidity ratio. So basically, liquidity ratio measure the company's ability to pay off its short-term liability. Liquidity ratio determine how fast a company can cover the asset and use them for meeting deals that arise. So in liquidity ratio, we have two type of formula that we use. First, we have current ratio and we have a quick ratio. Current ratio is a financial ratio that display an organization current asset versus current liability. It provides insight into a company liquidity and its capability to meet its obligation that are due within 1 year. The current ratio measure the company ability to cover its short-term obligation with its current asset. It provides a broad view of liquidity and includes asset like cash, marketable security, accounts receivable, and inventories. If we refer to the graph, we can see that IOI Corporation Berhad performed well in 2020 and 2021 with a ratio of 1.78 and 1.06 times respectively. This indicate that IOI Corporation can settle its short-term with the current asset marginally better. In 2022, IOI Corporation managed to grow its ratio by around 1.78, despite it having decreased by almost 1.6 times in 2021. However, Berjaya Corporation Berhad performed decrease in 2020 and 2021 with a ratio of 1.24 time and 1.01 time. It indicate that Berjaya Corporation Berhad would not have enough current asset to cover short-term liabilities. Compared to 2020 and 2021, Berjaya Corporation Berhad 2022 current ratio of 1.07 is low than the 2 years before. For quick ratio is to measure the firm ability to pay its short-term obligation without relying on inventories. It is a more conservative measure of liquidity than the current ratio, as it excludes inventory from the calculation. So as we see at the graph, that's IOI Corporation Berhad quick ratio is inconsistent. The ratio performed well in 2020 with 2.09 time but declined in 2021 which is become 0.79 time, indicating that IOI Corporation will not have enough asset to cover its current liability. However, in 2022, a good improvement for IOI Corporation Berhad, that ratio increased by 1.34 times, is indicating that IOI Corporation has grown. Next is Berjaya Corporation Berhad. From 2020 to 2022, the corporation ratio of 0.89, 0.69, and 0.76 time indicate that its financial situation is not stable, which is less than 1. This indicate that the current ratio is indicative, the subpar performance and unable to cover its liability.
Okay, I'm going to explain about TATO, or we call it as a total asset turnover ratio. So the formula for TATO is net sales divided by the total of assets of the company. So what is TATO actually? TATO is a financial metric that measures a company's ability to generate sales or to produce more revenue that related to total asset. So it might provide how efficiently a company utilize the total of asset and how they produce the revenue. A higher risk ratio is generally favorable because it indicates an efficient use of asset, and a lower ratio indicates a poor efficiency because it may be due to poor utilization of fixed asset and due to poor inventory management. Also, a poor of collection methods in their financial management. Okay, ACP, or we call it as average collection period ratio, which is the formula is account receivable will times with 360 days and divided by the total of net sales. What is ACP actually, or we call it as DSO? It was a valuable metric for assessing a company's effectiveness in managing accounts receivable, and it also provide insight into cash flow, working capital, and the efficiency of credit and collection policies, and it helps to the financial manager to analyze the financial and do the decision making. One of the importance of ACP is to maintain the liquidity and also to plan for future costs and schedule the potential of expenditures.
Hello, I am Nasa. Now I want to explain about leverage ratio. A leverage ratio is any kind of financial ratio that indicates the level of debt acquired by a business entity against several other accounts in its balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow statement. Now in leverage ratio, we want to discuss about debt ratio and debt equity ratio. Now we go to debt ratio. The debt ratio shows the amount of debt in financial structure. If the firm got high ratio means the firm borrows too much high risk. Now we want to discuss about the difference between company Berjaya Corporation Berhad and IOI Corporation Berhad. As we can see at this graph, IOI Corporation Berhad shows decreasing performance between 2020 to 2022, which is from 44.43% to 41.12%. It means that the company indicates a lower risk of debt in financial structure. However, Berjaya Corporation Berhad shows decreasing performance between 2020 to 2022 but increasing in 2021 to 2022 from 45.73% to 56.68%, which means that the company indicates a higher risk of debt in financial structure that time. Now we move to debt to equity ratio. The debt to equity ratio is a financial metric that measures the proportion of a company financing that come from debt relative to equity. Berjaya Corporation Berhad shows the decreasing pattern in 3 years when the ratio are 2.26 times in 2020, 1.25 times 2021 and 1.30 times in 2022. But in 2021 to 2022, it increased from 1.25 times to 1.30 times. Maybe this is because the owner has loss of much capital and is able to pay the debt. However, IOI Corporation Berhad shows the decreasing pattern in the 3 years when the ratio are 0.79 times in 2020, 0.71 times in 2021 and 0.69 times in 2022. This is because the capital provided by the owner has the ability to pay the debt in 3 years.
Hi, my name is Karinisa binti Muhammad Fendi. Today I'm going to present about profitability ratio. Profitability ratio are financial metrics used to evaluate companies' ability to generate earnings in relation to its expenses and other relevant costs during a specific period. Next, we're going to talk about gross profit margin. Gross profit margin is a financial metric that measures the percentage of revenue retained by a company after deducting the cost of goods sold, COGS. It is an essential profitability ratio that indicates how well the company is managing its production costs and pricing its products or services. According to Table 4, subsection A and Graph 4, subsection A, in 2020, Berjaya had higher gross profit margin 26.84% compared to IOI 21.71%. In 2021, again, Berjaya had a higher gross profit margin 26.43% compared to IOI. In 2022, once more again, Berjaya maintained a higher gross profit margin 30.2% compared to IOI 24.6%. Therefore, each of 3 years, 2020 until 2022, Berjaya consistency had a higher gross margin than IOI. Higher gross profit margin generally indicates more efficient cost structure or better pricing strategy, which is it can contribute to improve overall profitability for the company. Last but not least is operating profit margin. Operating profit margin, also known as operating margin or operating income margin. It's a financial metrics that measure the profitability of a company's core operating activities. As you can see, Table 4 subsection B and Graph 4 subsection B, in 2020, I had a higher operating margin, 12.7% compared to Berjaya 7.9%. In 2021, IOI again had a higher operating profit margin, 10.7% compared to Berjaya 0.72%. In 2022, IOI maintained a higher operating profit margin, 14.4% compared to Berjaya 3.17%. IOI consistency had a higher operating profit margin than Berjaya across all 3 years, the company earning more per dollar of sales.
Hello, hi. Okay, today I will explain about cross-sectional analysis. For cross-sectional analysis, I choose 2022 for both company. Firstly, for liquidity ratio, it showed IOI Corporation Berhad current ratio is equal to 1.78 times higher than Berjaya Corporation Berhad current ratio. A quick ratio is equal to 1.34 than Berjaya Corporation. Overall, we can conclude IOI Corporation Berhad is better than Berjaya Corporation Berhad, and it shows that the company can meet its short-term obligations. Secondly, for assets management ratio is show that IOI Corporation Berhad fixed asset turnover is equal to 0.81 times higher than Berjaya Corporation Berhad, and average collection period is 41.66 days higher than Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Overall, we can conclude the company is better than Berjaya Corporation Berhad, and it shows that the company can manage its asset effective to generate sales. Okay, thirdly, for the leverage ratio, it showed that IOI Corporation Berhad debt ratio is equal to 44.43%, lower than Berjaya Corporation Berhad. A time interest earned is equal to 0.79 lower than Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Overall, we can conclude the company is better than Berjaya Corporation Berhad and show that the company can manage its debt to generate. Okay, lastly, for profitability ratio, it showed the IOI Corporation Berhad is 21.71%, lower than Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Operating margin of IOI Corporation Berhad is equal to 12.7%, higher than Berjaya Corporation Berhad. Overall, we can conclude that IOI Corporation Berhad is moderate than Berjaya Corporation Berhad, and it showed the company is moderate to generate higher profits.
In conclusion, in this group assignment, we have used 8 ratio to determine which company is better and has a different 3 years. Among the companies we are comparing are IOI Corporation and Berjaya Corporation, and both of these companies are related to property investment and development. By making the 8 ratio difference, we can determine which companies are weak and perform. If seen at the end of a calculation, IOI Corporation shows a better performance than Berjaya Corporation. However, the gap between IOI Corporation and Berjaya Corporation is not too far or good because in 1 year between 2021 and 2022, IOI Corporation only decreased slightly compared to Berjaya Corporation, which also increased slightly between 2021 and 2022. Finally, in this assignment, we have focused on a ratio calculation and we believe that we can use it in the future. Thank you.
Okay, for recommendation, pricing, value and advertising item and service are all crucial sales tactics that Berjaya Corporation can avoid to draw in client and boost income. Examine the tool available to assist with marketing and sales effort, and ascertain which tactics are most effective in bringing in steady income. To determine which sales tactic require improvement, it's also critical to examine the expenses associated with the current approach. In order for IOI Corporation to grow, sales and customer support team need to be equipped with the know-how required to manage client account, support, procedure and general sales technique that can boost the profit margin. Procedure can help increase the profit margin as well. Enhancement in customer satisfaction levels are reinforced by spending money on training and development that help team manage sales and customer service operation. Team may see an increase in profit margin if they surpass new goals in sales and retentions.